Hello and welcome to our Alumni Spotlight podcast. My name is Autumn Granza, and I work to tell the amazing stories of our students and alumni here at Penn Foster. Today I'm speaking with David Jones, who completed his associate degree in construction technology in 2014 and recently completed his bachelor's degree in business management this year. Hi, David. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you so much for agreeing to talk with me today. Now, David, we are going to get right into it. So what were you up to before enrolling in Penn Foster the first time in 2014?
So prior to going to school at Penn Foster, I actually was working as a maintenance technician supervisor for apartments out in Monterey, California. So that's where I was at before.
And what made you decide to enroll in Penn Foster and pursue online education?
So I was talking to a coworker of mine. I was a construction project manager, and I asked him how he got where he was, and he kind of directed me into getting a degree in construction technology, and then on the back end, also getting my bachelor's of science in business management.
Yeah, that's great. And then what did you end up liking about studying online and the program itself?
Studying online is not for everybody, but it was perfect for me because I could actually do it at my own pace. I have 2 kids and a wonderful wife. And with family and work, it just fell in place that I could do my studies either after hours or during my lunch at work. So, I mean, it actually worked out pretty well. I liked everything that Penn Foster had to offer, though. It was really, really simple to go through the program.
Yeah, that's great. And definitely helpful, I'm sure, with 2 kids at home to be able to study maybe when they're napping or in bed. So that's perfect. And then did you lack any motivation, or how did you stay motivated throughout your program, or were there any obstacles you had to overcome?
You know, going through school is always a challenge because you're learning new things day to day. So, I mean, as far as obstacles, there's always going to be something you're going to face that you either don't remember learning from high school, or you have to relearn stuff that you forgot. So, I mean, my challenge, I think, in the entire program was kind of English, because I had to learn how to rewrite college papers from high school.
Mm-hmm.
There was also the math portion that I had to re-challenge myself to learn all these formulas that I had forgotten over years of, not seeing formulas since high school. So that was pretty much the only obstacles that I ran into, though.
Yeah. And then did you find yourself calling into instructors for help, and how did that go?
I actually I had a family friend that is awesome at math. He helped me through the stuff. The only time I used Tutors was during the English portion, and of course they're wonderful. It was just basically for writing to make sure that I stayed on track. I mean, you have to follow the instructions mostly, and if you veer off, then you get a bad grade. So.
Yeah, and it's good that you had someone within your personal life that you can turn to and can help you as you progress. So that's awesome. And once you graduated, I know you said you pretty much took the bull by the horns and got right into your occupation and current employer now. So can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing now and how you got the job that you have?
So about 7 years ago, after I got my first degree, I had a chance, because I had a construction background before, to step into a hybrid role. But instead of stepping into the hybrid role, I was already in my degree program to finish, and I finished like a few months after I had applied for the job, and they actually let me move into it. So it was pretty, self-explanatory when it came down to it. I mean, it just made sense for everybody to put me in the construction project manager role.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're working at a company called Greystar. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe what you do with your day-to-day?
So for Graystar, what I do is I do a lot of construction projects, anywhere from $15,000 all the way to multi-million-dollar projects. These are all construction projects for CapEx, and capital projects for properties are like, exterior renovations for like windows, exterior repaints, any architectural defects that have to do with design, engineering, interior renovations. I deal with a lot of construction stuff that, we basically maintain buildings, but in a construction aspect. So I'm not building from the ground up. I do plan on getting into that later on. It's just right now I like working where I'm at because it's a multifamily industry.
Yeah, that's great. And then how do you put into practice maybe what you learned at Penn Foster within your role now?
Oh, man. So I use a lot of the information that I do for scope writing because you learn so much stuff through the book that you read for concrete and for green building and all that good stuff. So it actually plays a good role into learning the codes and standards of construction. Even with AutoCAD that I was taught, it just helped reading plans. You had to do construction plan reading through Penn Foster. So everything that I learned through school is something that I'm actually doing out in the field. There's not something that, it just added to what I already know. It was just an awesome experience.
That's so great to hear. And I love hearing that because going to school and learning and then putting into practice what you learn is the ultimate goal. So that's fantastic. And I'm so happy to hear that. And David, I know you said eventually you would like to get into maybe building from the ground up. Now with this bachelor's degree, can you tell me what your ultimate career goal is and how you're going to apply this new degree too?
So with my new degree, I was kind of looking into possibly starting later, not like right now, but maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, starting my own business as a consultant as a project management firm. So now that I have the construction technology, I can also do, the business management portion, which is a lot more, but in the long run, it does make you a lot more money. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So the business degree actually taught me a lot about business and business law and accounting and all that good stuff to actually own my own business if I want to go that route. I haven't really decided whether I want to yet, but I think that's my ultimate goal in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, and at least now you have the backing and the schooling to support that if that's the route you choose. So that's fantastic. And then to current students who are maybe in your shoes going through the program now, what's some advice you can give to current students that are progressing through their studies?
I would just tell them to see it through. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Getting a degree in this day and age is so important. When I got out of high school, I took a break, but I mean, I would just say go ahead and see it through because later on in life, you're going to need, a degree ultimately to, if you have a family or not, you're going to have to support yourself. And it just helps you live more comfortably having a degree than it does without.
Yeah.
So I would say see it through.
And how did you becoming a graduate, what did that mean to you and the people around you and within your family?
So my parents, I think the highest education they got was high school. So it meant a lot to me just to finish out my secondary degree. It doesn't mean I won't be going back to school in the long run, and I might. That's another thing I really haven't considered, but I'm probably going to consider that in the future. But it meant really the world to me because, I'm setting an example for the people around me, not only for my parents because they're super proud that I did it, but also I'm setting an example for my kids.
Yeah, that's so true and so great, especially with 2 kids. I'm sure that's fantastic for them to see their dad completing this and working hard. And it's not easy. You're working full time too and progressing through school. So that's amazing. And what would you say was your favorite thing about studying at Penn Foster?
I would say there's so many things. I mean, you go through different semesters and you get through everything and you look back and you're like, wow, I really did like math, but I knew it was a challenge. and the English was a challenge. But I think overall I liked every bit of it. I liked being done, and I'll be honest with that. I mean, the accomplishment, but I like the entire coursework, and the coursework was set up so perfectly through the school. So, and just the people at Penn Foster that were in the background doing their jobs just really, really it made it easy, but also made it fun and easy to understand the program. So, I mean, I really like the program itself.
That's great. And what would you say to maybe someone who's considering Penn Foster and hasn't made the commitment yet?
Well, the first thing I would say is make sure that online learning is the right way that you want to go. Some people learn either by in-person or online. And I would say go for it with Penn Foster because it's a great school. I've had a really great experience with, the instructors, the people, the coursework. I mean, I would push it. I mean, the financial stuff too. I mean, it's not expensive to go to the school, so it's just like overall, it's just really great, and it's a really great program. Whichever program, even if it was a certification through you guys or diploma or whatever, I think it's all set up perfectly through Penn Foster.
That's so great. Thank you so much for saying that. And David, last question. What are 3 words you would describe your Penn Foster experience?
3 words to describe it. So 1 word for myself would be driven. For the school would be excellent. And the other one would be, I would say, fast-paced.
That's great. 3 great words. Well, David, thank you so much for talking with me today. And you're doing great. And we're so excited that you agreed to talk with us. And I'm sure students listening to this and even alumni will be motivated and encouraged by your words. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.